Social media is a really critical and important part of marketing for your accounting firm. Unfortunately, it can take a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of energy, and sometimes you just get busy. You forget to post, and before you know it, it's been 2 weeks, months before anything has gone out to your audience. So, there's a lot of tools out there that can help you with this process. But before you start down the rabbit hole of trying to figure out which one is best for you and your accounting firm, there's some really important questions that you need to ask yourself. So first of all, you need to know why you need a social media posting tool. You also need to know what platforms you should post to. So the main reason, or one of the key features of picking up a social media posting tool, is the ability to plan, schedule, and automate some of the posting. Unfortunately, it doesn't work to automate absolutely everything. So what you want to be doing is automating and planning some of the custom and core content, the repeatable stuff. You need to be planning and scheduling that ahead of time through a social media posting tool. But you also need to be topping up these posts with some personal touches that show you, your team, show your personality. Social media it's all about building connection, building relationship. So it's great that you have the backup of having posts scheduled and automatically going out to the audience. But it is really critical that you top the automated posts up with some personal in the moment posts from you and your team as well. It's also important to understand that there is a little bit of commitment involved in planning and scheduling social media. So you really need to be thinking ahead of time that it's going to take you a good 2 to 3 hours a month to sit down, to plan, to research, to find the pieces of content that you want to be posting and putting out to your audience, and also getting the planned posts uploaded and scheduled into your social media tool. So it does take a bit of time. It's a bit of commitment. It is something that you could delegate to us at PF. You can delegate it to team members or another agency, but ultimately you need to be aware that as the firm owner or manager, it does take a bit of input from you. When we do social media with clients, it's very much a collaborative thing. They don't just hand everything over to us and we never talk to them about it. It's something that's really important. It's important that your brand is front and center, like with all marketing. It's important that your brand's front and center and being represented in the correct way. So as an accounting firm owner or manager, it's your responsibility to make sure that the things that are being scheduled and post on a regular basis are reflective of your brand and representing your brand in the right way. If you are delegating to someone, it's also up to you to make sure that they have the tools to do that. So they need to know what it is that you're focusing on promoting, what kind of messaging that you're putting out there, and to who. So it really does take a little bit of time and commitment on your part, even if you have some help with the social media planning and scheduling. And if you're not ready to make that commitment, then that's okay. It's perfectly okay to continue putting out a couple of posts in the moment when you think something is interesting on social media. Don't put the extra pressure on yourself if you're not ready to give it that commitment. consistency when it comes to social media is key, and you want to make sure that you're showing up regularly for your audience, and you're showing content that is relevant to them. While there are many posting tools out there, and you've probably tried a few of them already, not all of these tools post to the same platforms. So that is why it's really important that you get to know your audience. You understand your ideal client. You understand what they're interested in. You understand what social media platforms they're using. Like your brand, your social media has to be built around your audience. So it's important that you're putting out engaging content, but also you understand where they are, where they're going to be consuming the content that you're putting out there. For example, we have some clients that we work with where their main client base is creatives. So although you as an accountant may not lean towards using Instagram personally, if that's where your ideal client is, then that's where you need to be. That's where you need to be posting. And the same goes if you are working with professional businesses, service-based businesses, legal, tech. They may not necessarily be on Instagram, but you may find that you need to be posting to platforms such as Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook. And if you're a firm that is very focused on education, app integration, and showing clients how you use tech, then maybe YouTube is a platform that you need to consider posting to now or in the future so that you can get out these training videos. Once you establish the social media platforms that are right for you and your firm, and you know where your target audience is going to be, it'll help direct you towards the best social media posting tool for you and your clients. Here we have a table here with a few of the many options that are out there that you could use to post to social media. So as you can see, they don't all post to the same platforms. The tool that we use at PF when we are scheduling and planning content for our clients is Sendable. As you can see, it posts to all of the platforms that we traditionally see our clients need to use for their firms. Hootsuite and Buffer are also great options that post to most of the platforms. One good thing about Hootsuite and Buffer is that they also give you an option to post to Facebook groups, LinkedIn groups, and also Facebook events as well. So these are really good tools if these are things that you're using on social media. So it might be something to consider moving towards either Hootsuite or Buffer if that is something that is important to you and your firm. The two at the bottom of the chart here, Plan and Planoly, they are tools that are very much focused on Instagram. In fact, they're driven by the setup of Instagram. Instagram is a very kind of visual platform and is very much focused on your grid and how things look there. So they actually have a view when you are scheduling and planning where you can sync your Instagram account so you can see what your grid is going to look like, and you can move images around and see exactly how it's going to look after it's posted. So they're really good tools for that. Their primary focus is Instagram. Plan does also give you an option to auto post to both Facebook and LinkedIn. And as you can see, Planoly, after you have shared to Instagram, you can also then share to Twitter and Facebook. So you've picked your posting tool, you've got all of your content planned, scheduled, and all set up to automatically post on certain dates for the next month or beyond if you're super duper organized. It's not just a case of setting all of that up and then just going away off and forgetting about it. You need to be aware of some changes that might happen after you've scheduled. We've had instances in the past where some of our clients' brands that they've been working with they've changed their name or changed their logo. So there might be little things within the content of your social media posts that are scheduled that mean that you have to go in and tweak, make changes, or even delete and replace it for another piece of content. So that is something that you need to be aware of. You also need to be aware of current events. If something big in the world happens, do you take a stance on it? Is there a certain way that your firm needs to react to a particular thing that happens? It might be something that you need to tweak and change in some of these scheduled posts. The other thing that you need to remember is that while technology is wonderful, it's not perfect. It doesn't always go to plan. So you need to be checking just periodically that the optimization is actually working. So keep an eye out for notifications of post failures or bounces, and just be aware that you need to make sure that it's actually working and that the posts are showing up in feeds in the way that you intended them to. So as you can sense from all of this, while having a social media tool is wonderful, it doesn't necessarily solve all of your problems. There are different things that need to be considered even when you have those tools in place.